Yo, 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 what's good, people? What's good? We are finally back in full effect. You know what it is. Talks with the crew. We coming back in the locker room today. I'm your boy, Coach Matt. You can follow me on the social media, X and all of that, Coach Matt 49. And man, you already know what it is. It's me, it's the dynamic duo right now. Hopefully the third one finna join us, but we got Mr. J Cam coming in today. We got a hot one for you, baby.
Man, what's going on with you, Mr. Coach Matt, man?
Man.
Happy to be back. You know what I'm saying? Got my cowboy hat on. We ready for business. We
Yes,
ready
sir.
for business. We can talk some business, Texas style today.
That's
But
it.
yeah, as he said, man, you can follow me on X at Mr. J Cameron. You know, and we like he said, we back. Been a couple of weeks. Things going on, life happening. Football season, y'all know how that go, man. But we are back. What we got first, Matt? Man, let's take a let's step inside the locker room, man.
Let's
We
do
just
that.
gonna go around the SEC, man. We going around the SEC. We got a couple teams we really want to hit on, uh, majorly. Of course,
Yes.
we'll talk about LSU today. We gotta talk Mississippi State because I don't know what that
Got
was
to.
last week. We gotta talk Florida because it's a debacle, a dumpster fire, straight
Yes.
booty juice trash going on down there in Gainesville. I don't know what's happening.
Yes,
And of
indeed.
course, this is another hot topic we're gonna get into. We're gonna leave that where it is right now, but we eventually get there, man. But let's go
Yes.
around the SEC, man. Who's somebody that's standing out to you right now, man, that you surprised, whether it
Ah,
be good or bad?
man, one thing that's a little shocking. Early on, man, and it's honestly, man, State. I'll be honest. I didn't expect. Now, listen, I didn't expect State to come in and just have a blowout season and be, 7, 8 wins, nothing like that. But what they're putting on the field right now it's just absolute garbage. I mean, the loss to Toledo, ASU. I mean, everything. It's just from offense to defense to special teams. It just none of it looks good. They look outmatched, outclassed, even outcoached. Um, it's kind of a little bit of a shock. Like I was expecting them to have a little more than what they're putting out on the field, to be honest. Um, but so that I'll be honest, that's my bad one. I do have a good one though, and one that's a good surprise for me is uh, Arkansas, man. Like I don't know where this came from. Um, they look a lot better than I expected them to this year. Um, which we'll see how that trends and how that continues. It's still like again, we're 3 games in. We'll see what this weekend holds. We'll see what the future holds. But as of right now, those two teams are a little bit surprising. I thought Arkansas would be doing a little bit worse than what they're doing right now. I thought State would be doing a little bit better. So
I think my surprise, I'm gonna have to go with Vandy. I
I,
think
I was
Vandy,
gonna go there. I was gonna go
Vandy, Vandy, Vandy shook up the world.
there. Week 1, baby.
Week one with an overtime victory uh over Virginia Tech.
Yes.
Now where I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Um, my bad surprise. I'm not even gonna say Mississippi State. I'm not surprised. It's year one after a complete reboot, rebuild, dumpster fire situation.
That is true.
Um, I'm not gonna say Arkansas is a good surprise for me.
Mm,
It's a horrible situation for me. Me
mm,
looking at it in the lens of a as an offensive guy,
yeah.
Taylor Green is terrible. That quarterback is beyond terrible. Like they did all this complaining and crying and
Mhm.
being about KJ Jefferson and how his quarterback play and how he can't hit a receiver and he can't do this, that, and the
Oh yeah,
third. Y'all do all that complaining, and what y'all got now is worse than what you had.
that is true.
That boy can't play pitch and catch in the backyard 10 feet away.
Oh
I'm
man.
sitting here watching this game this past week when they played UAB,
Yeah,
and the man had a 6'7" receiver in the back of the end zone, and he overthrew him by 15 feet wide open.
that's tough.
He throwing a fade ball, or it might have been a skinny post,
Mhm.
and he one hopped it, and the receiver was open by 3 steps, like wide open.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, the same thing. They running the ball first half. They were killing Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State said, you know what? We got something for you. Loading the box, sitting in the house, making him beat him with your arm. What happened? He ain't it, dog. I
No,
I
no,
understand they want to put all they chips in Bob Petrino, but
yeah,
I mean that ain't it, dog.
no,
That ain't it. So I don't know what they got going on. I know they got a tough matchup coming up with Auburn
yeah,
this weekend.
yeah. That'll be
So
interesting. That'll be interesting to see from an Auburn perspective and an Arkansas perspective too. So,
I mean, it's the toilet bowl either way you look at it. Because I mean, Jesus, Arkansas offense is horrible besides the run game,
and
but
Auburn
Auburn's
particular.
DBs are terrible. Auburn now has a. I know they benched the other Thorn. They finally benched him, and they brought in the redshirt freshman who can sling it,
Yeah,
so their offense can put up some points and some numbers now. Arkansas defense is hit and miss. It all depends, man. But they don't get no pressure with the D line. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. But you know where we gotta go, man.
oof.
We're going right here, right now.
Mm.
We're going right here, right now. What is going on in Starkville, Mississippi, with the Mississippi State Bulldogs after a beat down by Tulane? You pay the team that you're
So,
supposed to walk
Toledo,
through out of the MAC. Oh, excuse me, Toledo.
yeah,
You pay a team that $1.3 million. It's supposed to be an easy dub coming out the MAC conference,
yes,
and they beat the dogs at you, literally.
yeah,
What's your take on Mississippi State right now, man?
man, it's oof. It is. It's a dumpster fire. It's a lot like what you just how you described Florida earlier on, man. It's there's not much good coming out of it at all. You look at the O line and D line um, getting whooped up front. You look at just the skill position players, just a lot of times looking lost, don't know what's going on. Man, it's and I don't know if how much of this you can attribute to this is Levy's first year as the head coach or as a head coach in general. Um, so I don't know if a lot of it is because of that, the pains of that, or if it's just straight up Mississippi State is just garbage. The talent level that they have is so far below everybody else. But to go out there and as an SEC team and you're playing a MAC conference team and to get beat like that, we're not talking about a close loss.
It was
We're
about
not
about
talking about
30, wasn't it?
yeah. I mean it was over with like the whole game. You could tell like it was done. State was not going. State had no chance to win that game from the beginning of it to the end of it. You could tell how they finna lose, and that is to me that's troubling. It is
For
because
sure.
regardless of whether it's your first year or not, that's supposed to be one of those easy confidence building games for your guys to get them to where they need it mentally, to get them in the mind frame of okay, we can go out here and we can play ball, we can do these things. But they couldn't do nothing, man. It was struggle from beginning to the end. So it's pretty bad in Starkville right now.
Man, I go back to the conversation we had when we previewed Mississippi State, man. And
Mhm.
I remember watching the spring game, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"This ain't it." Like, I get it. It's spring, you know what I'm saying. It's your first time to really see what you have as a team. You didn't have which, and the head coach got on the press conference afterwards and was like, "We got to hit the portal. Like, we need some guys out the portal." And it really makes sense now because
Hmm.
as a first year head coach, you can only get what you can get, enough to try to piece together an offense to be competitive. But on
Yeah.
the defensive side, yeah, you might, you bring in a staff, you're gonna get a couple guys, but if you don't have a true two deep in your front seven that you can rotate
Mhm.
on defense,
Yeah. You're gonna struggle.
you're gonna have issues, man. And right now they're having issues with everybody's trying to be the hero, people out of gap scheme, people trying to play hero ball, people trying to help other teammates who they feel are slacking, which is in
Yeah.
turn messing up your responsibilities because there's nobody where you're supposed to be.
Right. Like
and they don't
you
have they don't have enough depth, man. And I remember watching a little bit of the opener, and I'm like, this offensive line ain't gonna cut it in the SEC. Like
mhm.
to be real, they reminded me of Colorado from last year.
That's tough.
Like that's what it reminds me of. I understand like Levy's a great offensive mind, but he does not have what he needs.
Mm.
Now, is it too early to panic? My opinion, yes, way too early.
Yes, I agree.
This man going on in what week 3, 4,
Yeah, this will be
going into game 4. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
going
It's way too early. We can't do like we did last year with the Band-Aid coach Arnett and be ready to get Levy up out of there. Like you can't do that, man. Like when they say rebuild, this is truly a rebuild because they went from the air raid with Mike Leach, rest in peace to the Pirate,
Yep.
to Zach Arnett trying to run a traditional I formation, power I, everything else,
Mhm.
back now to a no huddle tempo
Right.
spread
Spread
offense.
out. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So it's like 3 different mindsets in 3 years.
exactly. And like you said, it's you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like right now, it's things are bad, but a lot of that has to do with what you just stated, man. Like you've got three different coaching styles, three different coaches within 3 different years, three back-to-back years, excuse me. So I mean, it's like that's a lot for these kids. And we got to remember, these are still 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. That is a lot for them to have to deal with and be put on their plate and then have to turn around and be successful week in and week out. So they're going to struggle this year. But I mean, it's going to be probably one of the worst years that Mississippi State football has had in a long time.
Yeah,
Probably even worse than last year.
for sure. For sure. But man, with that being said,
Uh oh.
we got a surprise guest. I'm gonna call him a guest because ain't nobody seen him in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
We got the young gun back in the building, Mr. Cameron Bell.
We
Back,
back, man.
back with us.
We're back and better, man. Let me turn my screen
We
right. Let me get right.
hey
Hold on, hold
man,
on, hold on.
back up, bro. You all in the back up, man. There you go.
Yeah, we back. We
Look,
back,
he,
man.
he forgot how to do
We
this.
back.
It's
He
okay.
ain't done it so long he forgot. He ain't got his light on or nothing over there looking dusty.
Nah, I do got my light on. Is it bright enough? Hold on, I'm turn it up.
Yeah, turn it up,
Hold on.
cuz.
Y'all
There
see
you
me
go.
better now?
Yeah, now we can see you a little bit. I saw one eye a while ago. That was it.
Okay, we're good now. We're
But
good.
man, you came in right on time. You
Mhm.
came in right on time. I'm gonna let you get this off your chest. We gonna hop here right now. We gonna start with these Florida Gators, man.
Mm,
We gonna start with these Florida Gators. Them boys complete garbage. Dumpster juice, booty juice,
mm.
trash.
Whatever you
Now,
want.
with that being said, is it time for Florida to fire Billy Napier? I'll let y'all take that. Run with it. Go ahead. Who up first?
Yeah, it's
Bell,
time
you
to
want?
go, man. It's time.
That's
It's time for him to go.
That's all you
Uh,
got?
the reason I say that, no, this is what I would say. The reason I say it's time for him to go, I feel like the Florida, if they gonna keep their program, the history of Florida football, they're gonna have to go out and get a proven coach. They can't do the try and error. They can't do that no more. We can't play around. We gotta go get a winner. Now, with that being said, um, I seen a video of Dan Mullen, and what he said was when he got fired, he actually was asked to give advice on who they should go hire,
Hey man, we're gonna
and
tap
he
into that in a
told,
minute. We ain't going there yet. We ain't going there yet.
oh,
We
okay,
not going there
okay,
yet. We not
oh, okay,
going there yet. We gonna get there.
okay, okay.
We
But
gonna
anyways,
get there.
Pump the brakes.
anyways, I'm with you. The reason I say that is because I don't feel like Napier is a bad coach. I wouldn't say he's a bad coach, but he's not the guy that Florida needs. To me, as a football fan, Florida haven't been Florida relevant as football since Tim Tebow days, in my opinion. That Florida that I seen with them, I haven't seen in a very long time. I'm just keeping it blank. I mean, they've
Okay.
had some good teams, but those caliber teams that they did have before then, I haven't
Mhm.
seen teams like that at all.
Okay, so Matt, what do you think the issue is with that being with everything he just a little bit just said? What do you think the issue is to where it's such a gap that like he just said Tim Tebow days? So
Yeah,
we talking Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer been gone
Yeah,
since what 2012,
yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
yeah.
So what do you think the issue is,
Oof. Man,
or one of the issues?
yeah, it's been a lot. I think one of the issues is I'll be honest. In my opinion, I think it is coaching. I think when you look at um, there's got to be something deeper going on with that coaching staff because when you look at the state of Florida, when you look at Florida Gator football, as far as traditionally in the SEC, um, we're not talking about a team we're not talking about a Vandy. We're not talking about those types of teams that continuously put out low numbers as far as wins and things like that. We're talking about a team who they or a program, excuse me, that puts out
Mm-hmm.
teams that can go get the job done. Now, they may not be competing for a national championship every single year, but they are way better than what the Billy Napier Florida era has
For sure.
produced. And to me, I don't know if it's recruiting. I don't know if it's not being able to handle the portal, and NIL and things like that, because I do think that adds another aspect to it. I don't know if he's just one of those, if he can't handle going to find those guys from the portal and being able to target the right kinds of players for what he's trying to do. But with what Florida should be, especially high schools in Florida produce a lot of talent. We all know
Mm-hmm.
that. The recruiting pool is very deep in the state of Florida. He does have talent. So that to me, there's got to be something behind the scenes that's going on that's keeping them from whether from the success, whether it's game planning, whether it's one of the things that I know we're going to talk about, not turning the ball, not letting your stud back there go ahead and have the reins. Um, I think a lot of it comes down to, in this instance, a lot of it's coming down to just the way they're handling the players as far as the coaching staff, and where they're handling their game planning, their schemes, and everything like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna come at it from a different aspect, different angle, right?
Go ahead.
All right, so Steve Spurrier, what kind of players did he have on his team?
Mhm.
He had some dogs, right?
Yes, dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And then you had a guy by the name of Ron Zook who came in behind Steve Spurrier and wanted
Yeah.
to make a name for himself, right?
Right.
Wanted to do it
Mm-hmm.
his way. Did that work out for him?
Mm-mm.
Then you hired a guy by the name of Urban Meyer who came in. What type of players he had on his team?
Dogs.
Dogs, right?
Yes. Yes,
Then
indeed.
you had a guy who came in behind him by the name of, you said him
Mullen.
earlier,
Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen, right?
Am I?
Dirty.
Yep.
Dan Mullen was on the staff
Hmm.
with
With
Urban,
Urban.
but he wanted to try to separate himself and create his own legacy in Florida as Florida head coach, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
How did that work out? How did that work out for him?
It didn't.
Now you got Billy Napier
Hmm.
who wants to do it his way. So what's the difference here? The two coaches that had the dogs embrace the kids and the type of kids you have in your state, and you
Yes.
let them
Mm-hmm.
be them. You implemented. This is how we gonna do things. We gonna be tough. We gonna be physical. I'm gonna let y'all have fun. Y'all gonna be y'all. I'm not gonna strip y'all of your individuality. I'm not gonna strip you of none of that, your toughness. I'm not gonna strip you of your style of play. But we will do it with order and within the style of Florida Gators football,
For
For real.
sure.
right? But when you have a coach who comes in and tries to, how can I word this? When you have a coach that comes in and tries to implore their style
Hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
put their name or their stamp on a program to separate themselves and show, hey, look what I can do.
Hmm. It doesn't
So and
work.
so is gone. This is my team. This is my program now. This is what you're dealing with. It's certain areas that you cannot draw the culture out of. The state of Florida, them kids gonna be them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When the University of Miami was the University of Miami, what were they?
Some dogs.
Themselves, and they were some dogs. When Florida State was Florida State, what were they? Some dogs. Why is Florida State so terrible this year? Because you went and bought a whole team out the portal that are not kids for Florida State. They don't fit the dynamic of the history of that. They don't understand the history of that. You letting all those kids go to other places. Same
Yep.
thing, University of Florida. You're not recruiting Florida like you want to because they know they can't be
Mm-mm.
themselves. Same thing when it goes to schools like LSU. It's areas like New Orleans. You gotta let kids be themselves.
Yes, I agree.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
to me, I think the number one problem is this power trip that this dude is on.
Mm.
Matt, you alluded to it earlier. You got DJ Lagway on the bench. You talking about Graham Mertz and won you more games because DJ was just coming out of high school and DJ 10 times better than Mertz.
Yes, sir.
You can argue with your mom about that,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
but you would rather keep. I don't want to go there, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I was sure finna say something. Y'all know where I was finna go.
I know.
But you would rather keep your future on the bench,
Hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
knowing you on the hot seat. Booty
I
on
think,
fire, yeah, booty hot like he was at Diddy house right now. But
and
you, but like, come on, dog.
I think that's the point. And that's, to be honest with you, that's what's crazy. I think that's what kind of baffles people or us as sports fans or people that love sports. It's like, how could you? You know the sinking ship, the sink is sinking, the ship is sinking, and you still let them. I'm just saying, you know what you're supposed to be doing, and you still allow the dude, like you say, won you more games, and you
Yeah.
know this dude ain't even a half a picture of what the dude behind him is at
Mhm.
all, and that's your future. That's what's
But this,
crazy. I'm like,
but here go the crazy part in that statement. This is why this statement was so dumb. You only had Graham Mertz for one season,
Bingo.
so you talking about he won you more games, bro? You won 5 games
that's
last
why
year.
I'm trying to say they weren't good.
Thank you.
I'm saying,
Tell him
what you
again,
talking
man.
about?
You won 5 games last year, bro.
That's it.
5.
That's all.
But you talking about you going with him because of his experience and he's won more games than DJ for you. Make it make sense. Graham Mertz transferred from where he came from for a reason.
Exactly.
If he was him and he was like that, he would still be at the school he at, and you wouldn't go to Florida, who was in the trash when you went there.
Man, that's
Hmm.
crazy.
That's wild, man.
Like, come on, dog.
And Bill, you made a good point. Like that's both of y'all. That's your future. Like this, we need to go ahead. You need to be developing this kid right now, because if
Man,
he's gonna be the one that's gonna take over, he needs to be the one that takes over now. Because Mertz, like what you say, they weren't good. 5 games. That's nothing. That's nothing to really just be proud about. You talking
man,
about Florida Gator football? Come on, man.
listen, man. That boy future is the manager at Waste Management since he loved trash
Yes,
so much. That's his future.
yes.
Bumper headset, bumper whistle. His future is with them green trash cans, sitting
But
behind a computer, setting up accounts.
but you know what though? What's crazy is I thought about this other day. I'm like, will that take effect on college football landscape the standpoint of coaching?
What you mean?
Because like with teams trying, like the latest teams that have needed a new coach, they haven't went and got head coaches.
Mhm.
They've got, well, he was a head coach at the school he was at, but I'm saying they are trying out like coordinators, things that nature. Like when he was with Alabama, he was a position coach. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying like the logic of teams going to get these coaches for these elite programs. Like Florida football is like a blue blood
Oh,
and football.
okay,
We're talking
okay.
football.
Okay, so here's what Florida's thinking, right? Here's what Florida's thinking. Florida's still paying Dan Mullen, right? Then you
Yeah.
got NIL, so you got the whole collectives.
Mhm.
And Billy Napier was at the time the hottest G5 coach
I remember
because
that.
Louisiana
Remember
Lafayette was,
Lafayette.
had some big seasons, one undefeated one season. He was killing the game, you know what I'm saying? So he was a big name, he was a hot name, but you could get him for cheaper. And he was gonna jump at the opportunity because it's from Lafayette to Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Step
Mm-hmm.
up.
Right. So he's still gonna get more money than he was at Lafayette, or
Yeah.
University of Louisiana, excuse me, no disrespect,
Yeah.
but it's been Lafayette
Yeah.
for so long. He
Yeah.
gonna get more money, so he would jump at that opportunity. Unlike going to get a Brian Kelly from Notre Dame, unlike going to get Mike Norvell that was at Memphis, you know what I'm saying, who had multiple coaching opportunities. Mario Cristobal, who was at Oregon that was looking to leave and was
Right.
not
Right.
at
Right.
Miami.
Right.
You know what I'm
It's,
saying?
it's the
Or
money.
or we can jump right into this right now. Or a Lane Kiffin at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
levels to that.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
okay, he's proved that he was a winner at the G5,
Mm-hmm.
right? He young, he up and coming. Obviously he's got a winning track record, so that means he's got to have the formula for
Winning. I know what you're saying.
success,
I got
right?
you. I got you.
But the only issue with that is this dude ain't coaching the same way he was in Louisiana.
No,
Nope.
not at all.
He didn't
At
got the
all.
bag. He didn't got the bag and got over there and got comfortable.
Yeah.
Cause my boy, when he was in Louisiana, he was fiery. He was going viral all the time for his press conferences, his news. You know what I'm saying? His halftime speeches, all this stuff. You don't see none of that now. You
And
ain't
they
see
were
that
dropping, 30 and 40 bombs, 50 bombs on everybody.
every week.
Everybody.
You didn't see none of that,
No.
right?
Can
Like Kyron Lacey played for him in Louisiana.
right.
Dude loved him. He talked high of him.
Wow.
But then you go to Florida, you don't even try to bring Lacey with you.
Mm-mm.
And Lacey
Which,
that
which
deal.
is why
Right.
Lacey.
Lacey
Yeah.
is him. Oh man, that's crazy.
So it's
You right
crazy,
though.
man.
You
So it's
right.
crazy. So I think the writing is already on the wall. They just waiting on that pen to paper. They're gonna get him up out of here. I think
And
they
beat Mississippi
probably
State ain't gonna change their mind.
they probably gonna they probably got boxes already waiting on them. You know what I'm saying? They getting ready to change the codes whenever that it's time to sell that ship. You know what I'm
Look,
saying?
pink slip ready. It just ain't got the date on it, man.
Oh yeah, they just ain't been ripped off. That's all. Just need a
That's
date and a signature. Date and a signature. And with that being said, here we go, Bill. Let's get straight to it. Since you tried to run out, already. Hot topic.
Yes, sir.
This is the one that has
Mhm.
set the internet on fire.
Yes.
Every analyst, every sports media news outlet has all had a take on this. The hot topic is Lane Kiffin to Florida as the next head coach. Matt, I'm gonna let you go first, Bill. You have to sit back and let us get ours out first because
Yeah,
you
Go
got a lot
ahead,
to
go
say.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt. I'll let you go first.
man. You ever heard the phrase all money ain't good money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though Lane would know for a fact he's gonna go in there, he would make more money. He's already making a good amount of money. But he would already make more money in Florida. I think it would be a very unwise decision for him to go to Florida. Now, right now, let me preface that. Right now, it would be a bad decision for him to go into Florida just because of the dumpster fire that it is.
Mhm.
I don't. I just my honest opinion. I don't see Lane leaving where he's at right now to go to Florida in the state that it is in. If Florida Gator football was in a better state and things looked more promising than what it does right now, then yes, I could possibly see him leaving. Um, but right now, where he's at, the success that he's having, he's going to be. Here's the thing: we all have agreed on this. Kiffin offensively is probably one of the best offensive coaches out here right now in college football. Um, and he's doing his thing. He's a little bit younger than a lot of the coaches. He's had experience coaching under guys like Nick Saban. He's coached in other places as far as head coaching jobs. He's had a lot of success pretty much everywhere that he's been. He's made a name for himself, and he's always in the media, whether it's on social media or whatever. And he's I guess he does a good job of relating to his players. You know, he does a good job as far as that goes. So he's going to be one of those guys that any big time job that opens up, he's going to be thrown out there. In my opinion, he's going to be the first guy. His name is going to pop out there. But I don't see him going to Florida simply because of the fact that where Florida football is right now, and it would be to me a complete rebuild. Almost like what State's going to have to do this year. Like they're having to rebuild the whole thing. Whoever takes that Florida job is going to have to rebuild that whole program. I don't know that Saban's the one. I mean, excuse me. I don't know that Kiffin is the one that wants to actually take that kind of job right now and go into it and try to rebuild that historic program.
Why you think he wouldn't take it to rebuild?
Man, I think he enjoys this. I think he enjoys what he's doing right now. I think the rebuild, like if you look at Tennessee, when he was at Tennessee, I don't think that he's necessarily a rebuild coach, just in my opinion. I
But
don't
that
think
but that but that's what he did this year.
at Ole
You get what I'm
Miss.
saying? Yeah, that's what he's done the past 2 years.
True. He has. I think it was Ole Miss was a much better fit, though. In my opinion, I
I
think it's a
I,
much better fit for him.
I think also, so. My take is I don't see him leaving for Florida
Mm.
unless them boys drop the Elon Musk bag. You feel what I'm saying?
That would be
And
hard to turn down.
exactly. And the reason I say that just because I mean you got a young son, you're a young coach, you love the beach, you're in Florida. Um,
Mhm.
I don't I just don't see him leaving for that situation only because Ole Miss, man, they basically gave him the keys, a blank piece of paper, and told him you can do what you want to do.
Yes.
And it's
Which
like
is honestly a coach's
right,
dream.
and they're getting a return on the investment because he's improving each year. Now, the only way I could see him taking it or leaving is if this season turns out to be a dumpster fire in the end. And a dumpster fire meaning you don't win the SEC, you don't make it to the playoffs because that's the expectation this year, right? So I can see him, and I can see the fan base and everybody that gave the collective being extremely unhappy and upset with 10-2.
Hmm.
Because 10-2, it ain't no guarantee you going to the playoffs. And
That is
that
true.
is the standard that was set in the spring. That is the precedence that was set. That's the expectation from everybody because you did all the crying and I ain't gonna say crying and complaining, but you threw your sales pitch out there for after your first 3 years. We need X, Y, and Z to compete, right? Because offensively you killing it. You putting up numbers offensively, but you couldn't stop a cold. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
couldn't stop nothing. Okay, cool, bet we got you. Boom, they go get Pete Gold, right? Defense still a little last year, but it was vastly better than it had been Kiffin's first 3-4 years
Right.
at Ole Miss, right? Boom. Okay, now we got Pete Golden. We just need a little more, and we get there. Boom. Now you got people like Juice Wells. Boom. Now you got was it Walter Nolan, right?
Yeah.
You got him coming from A&M. You know what I'm saying? So you have a complete puzzle now. But then that leads me back to my point of when we first previewed Ole Miss, and I was like, well, what if it doesn't work this year with a collective and everybody else that threw all this money into what you said you needed, and you've been, I ain't gonna say begging again, but you've been adamant about what you've needed the past X amount of years. We gave it to you, it didn't work. So now what?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because you were able to talk doggone your quarterback. What's his name? I forgot that fast.
Dart.
Don't-
All right, you were able to talk him to come back,
mhm.
right? Parrish came back. You ain't got Juice Wells. You still got Trey Harris who stayed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you still
Yeah.
shoot, I don't even know what 19 came from. That little boy, he all right though.
Yeah.
Nah, he was there last year.
I'm saying I don't know where he came
Oh,
from. Like he wasn't
oh,
he wasn't he
yeah.
wasn't
Nah,
he
he
wasn't
didn't play as much.
that's what I'm saying. He wasn't
Yeah,
featured like that.
yeah.
But he a nice addition to that
Nah,
middle.
he
He gonna
is. He
he gonna
is.
work the
Oh
middle and
yes.
them outside, them quick
Yeah,
routes on the outside, he gonna work it.
yeah.
So you have the pieces defensively. I need X, Y, and Z. Then you paired him up with a former defense coordinator, head coach, and Zach Arnett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have multiple minds to this puzzle. You have all the chess pieces. Now, will
Mhm.
you play the game correctly? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? That's only to be said. Ole Miss
Yeah.
is killing it right now.
Man, that's good, man. Hey, y'all got some good. Hey, y'all dropping the heat. Hey, both of
So
y'all.
you know what I'm saying? So but that's just us, Bill. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you get off, Bill.
Full screen.
Excuse the boxes in the back, man. We still,
Man, bump out that, man.
housewarming gifts.
Somebody
But
kept out there.
anyways,
Go ahead.
uh, like I was alluding to earlier, I seen a video on Twitter, man. Dan Mullen, he was talking about how when he got fired, Scott Strickland asked him who he should go get. It's about 3 or 4 years ago. We know. And Dan said, man, you should go get Lane Kiffin.
I'm gonna
And
pause you. I'm gonna stop you right there. To me, that's cap. I don't even say that word. But that's a lie. What boss gonna fire you and then ask you who you should hire?
and
Come
now
on,
and
dog.
and now and then that's why I'm gonna tell you my perspective. When I heard it, I even told my brother barbershop. I was like, I said that's a bad thing, man, for you to fire me and then you turn around and ask me who you should go get. That's like a slap in the face. So my perspective is I'm in agreement in the fact of it's too late. I feel like Lane now is a different man than he was 3 or 4 years ago. I feel like 3 or 4 years ago, they would have came asking for him. I feel like he would have packed his bags and left. But I feel like now it's not about the money. I feel like his father died. His brother then moved back to Oxford, and they stay on the same. He hired him. His son, like he said earlier, or Coach Camp said earlier, he got a young son that's playing football. He's supposed to be transferring back into Oxford. But the only reason I don't see him leaving, if it's a bag, like you said, Elon Musk bag, he may be gone. But if it's not, I just feel like in this time, like Matt said, man, Ole Miss is for Lane and Lane is for Ole Miss. They gave him a blank piece of paper, like you said, and that's the best way to put it. Do what you want to do. And I feel like he was best for what at the time. And then you talk about NIL, you talk about attraction. Like, man, I think it's no better fit, to be honest with you. And honestly, as an Ole Miss fan, if they do lose Lane, I couldn't tell you as an Ole Miss fan who you should go get.
And what are these? What are these attractions you speak of?
When I say attraction, I'm talking about they changed the just different stuff they do. Like as far as jersey, before Lane came,
Okay,
I don't, I don't.
you
I'm
just talking
just
about the
new stuff
football
that he didn't bring. Yeah, the
aesthetics.
aspect.
Okay, okay.
Right. Like
I thought you were talking
even
about Oxford. I was like,
no,
what?
no, 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 no. Even the format of like how they did the Grove,
Yeah,
like that's
the
different
aesthetic.
stuff.
Yeah, the aesthetics. The
Yeah.
aesthetics. I got
The
you.
drone
And so
Yeah,
show, the
yeah.
just
light.
a new flavor, yeah. And I just feel like Ole Miss Oxford type of people, they love that. They love Lane, like, and that's why I see it as a no better fit. But I'm like, Matt, I wouldn't go to no dumpster fire. I think it wouldn't be wise. Not right now. And I'm not trying to make it as Ole Miss is on a Florida type of football level. If we talking long term, I'm not. Because it's not, I don't even think it's close. Because Florida was considered a powerhouse, 10, 12, like you said, years ago. Florida was a prominent program.
Florida was the
But
standard. The
exactly.
standard.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so now, man, I would, if I'm him, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't chance it. I'm not saying he can't get it done because I feel like he could. But right now and where I'm at in life, I don't know. I think he would. I think he should stay with us.
Yeah, I think it would all depend on the stipulations in the contract and the
Yes.
money and how much
Yes.
how much money is allotted to staff.
Right.
Because Florida has the collective group.
Oh yeah.
They just hesitant right now to give because of who you got pulling the trigger, man. Like I don't
Exactly. If
like
they had a coach like Kiffin, I feel like they would be ready to be all in or more
Quit.
in.
Yeah.
Because
Quit.
he has proven when it comes to that he's adapted. Even though he stated he doesn't like it, he has adapted very well and proven that he's a good fit for this NIL era of going out here and finding guys.
And he's elite at doing, and that's what people I feel like overlook at times. Even though we question what certain pieces work, Kiffin has done it.
I was just about to go there.
And I haven't seen a lot of coaches do it. But when it comes to pieces, he has done it. And the type of guys he has done it to
I was just about to go there. So a lot of people argument is this about the same thing we talking about. Oh, this is the perfect situation. He got X, Y, and Z. Why would you leave? Yada, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. What a lot of people are failing to realize is Ole Miss has never been like that in football. So when they finally got a product that they saw a future in and they could see, okay, we hear what you're saying. Like a lot of coaches coming in, I'm gonna lay this play down, lay that play down.
Right.
The last coach that did that was Hugh Freeze, and we all saw how that crashed and burned quick.
It did.
All it took.
And then they ended up on probation off of those actions. So here comes Matt Luke. Oh, he talked good. Blah blah blah. We won a couple games, but you get blow out in big games. So Lane Kiffin comes available. Okay, he's talking the way he talked. He brash. He very blunt. He gonna say what he mean. He gonna mean what he say. He gonna feel how he feel. It is what it is. You either gonna rock with me or you not. And it was enough to where he could draw people in with attention because it was competitive. He was winning games. All right, for example. All right, prime example. I think he won half of the fan base over is when LSU came to Oxford and y'all beat us like 41-7.
Oh yeah, you talking about a few
that
years
was
ago.
a few years ago. Was that 3 years ago?
That was when when Eli did his stuff?
I don't know. I wasn't at the game.
I think it was when they did his number. They did the little memorial thing, retired his jersey. I think it was. It
might have been. But it was a sellout crowd, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were trash, but it was 2021. It was 2021, 3 years ago. So that's when the fan base was like, okay, we can really get behind it. People started,
Right.
started donating, collectors,
Yeah.
NIL, starting to get what he need. You know what I'm saying? He's starting
Yeah.
to get what he
Started
need.
buying into it.
So to everybody else that's unfamiliar with Ole Miss, it's like you would be crazy to leave. Why would you leave? You got all this X, Y, and Z, but they don't understand how Ole Miss had none of this prior to him coming. So my thing is, do you not think other schools see that? Okay, if I was to just give him X or what it's gonna take,
Yeah.
he could just throw out a crazy number.
Man.
I'm gonna need 150 million.
It's
Mhm.
But
gonna be somebody out there.
because of the blueprint and him having a track record of it working, and the way this transfer portal is, and you can reload and upload a whole roster. If you got the money, who wouldn't take that shot?
Man.
I agree.
You get what I'm
I,
saying?
yeah,
Oh, they
I agree.
coming.
with
They
100%.
coming. How much in there? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I just don't think Florida after
Mhm.
this year is going to be that spot. But I agree with you 100%. Like I think a lot of people are, like I said, a lot of people are gonna look at him, and when they need a big time name coach, I think that's gonna be the first guy that they start discussing is Kiffin, just because of the things that he has done on this. Because me and Bell both know, like I mean, been around Ole Miss football my whole life. Like I know, like that Ole Miss has never been looked at as the standard when it comes to sports, when it comes to
Ole Miss
athletics.
was the standard for tailgating. That was it.
That's right.
and,
Bingo.
and so now you've got Kiffin doing what he's doing, and it's like he's getting all the pieces. They're buying in. He's doing all these different things and these special things because this is something that Ole Miss football has never really seen. And of course, you're going to have those other schools, but then it's like you said, what's it going to take? I don't think that it's going to be Florida, but eventually somebody's going to come knocking on that
Oh,
door with an offer that's going to be almost too hard to refuse.
it
For
is.
sure.
And I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly because I'm like I said, even as an Ole Miss man, I don't. When he leave or he decide to leave, man, I don't know who we're gonna go get. You just think about it, like you said, that's how much he has changed our school. You think about that. We haven't had nothing before other than Hugh Freeze before that happened. Man, Ole Miss wasn't talking about no. We'll go 4-8, 5-7. The best we get 6-6 with a loss or win. You know what I'm saying? Then but we don't know. We don't know how it's gonna go. But I'm just saying, you bring a coach, brother, to a school that hasn't been relevant in football ever. I'm just saying, on the landscape, you talk about the big Alabamas,
Not
the
since Archie.
Texases.
Not
Man,
since Archie. Not since
man,
Archie.
Archie, that's what I'm saying. You man, and that was in the 60s. I
Yeah.
ain't even thought about. You know what I'm just saying?
After
Like,
that, it was Eli. When Eli was
exactly.
there with Cutcliffe, that was
Exactly.
the best years that they had. And
Man,
after that,
that was still 10-3.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it still wasn't there. It still wasn't national championship level.
And that was only 1 year. That wasn't even 2 years.
Exactly.
2 years. 2
2
years.
years.
2
Yeah,
years.
2 years in a row. Yeah. His junior. Yeah.
Yeah, Cotton Bowl both years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's just I don't man. It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it's sketchy now. To be honest, I'm kind of it's kind of crazy that he's kept quiet too, though. Which I get it.
No, it's not because there's no coaches these days. Every time they start refuting these stories, everybody know you lying.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's
these
true.
sources be too prominent of sources. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be ESPN, it'd be Sports Center, or the commercial, not the commercial appeal, the national news. Like it's 60 Minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's real prominent, big time.
You're right.
So
He ain't trying to feed it.
why even start this confusion when I know the ultimate goal at hand?
You're right. Right. You're right.
Because you gotta remember now, you still dealing with these sensitive kids.
That's true.
We just 3 weeks in now.
Coach, man, you coach, man, you done got me out here and sold me this dream, and what's up with this?
Yep.
Lane ain't stupid. Lane might say and do a lot of stuff. He might be the ultimate troll on Twitter, but he's not stupid. He's not stupid.
Right. You're right.
Lane always 3 moves ahead.
And like I said, I agree with both of y'all points. Both of y'all had, man, hit the nail on the head for me. Even Coach Cam, what you saying about what they set out to do in the spring, if that don't come to fruition, as an Ole Miss fan right now, I can't say he's gonna be the eye coach at the end of the year. I'm not sure. Because you put everything you had, you think about it, you put everything you had into this season right here. Everything.
Draws and all.
Everything.
You went
everything.
they got the checkbook butt naked. You hear me?
Everything, everything.
Sold out.
I'm telling you. Like, so I'm with you. Hey, if they
So,
come with the right amount of money, he may be gone. I mean,
and I think the only thing that I don't think Kiffin would leave this year. I think
mm-mm.
the person to be is the same person I done told you several times, Pete Golden.
Yeah,
He the next head coach up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Especially after being with Saban for all them years, and now you learning from Kiffin too. So now you getting like the best of both worlds. So you
Yeah.
got the discipline, you know what I'm saying, team aspect of it from Saban, and now you have the how to implore the kids to really buy in, have fun, but still be disciplined and competitive and all at the same time. And
Right.
you putting them two together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's because you still got to maintain some form of
standard.
discipline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
You gotta maintain
I
that.
got you.
But
Yeah.
at today's kids,
You
and
gotta let them be
I'm gonna
themselves.
say kids, they
Yeah.
too sensitive. So the Saban method won't always work.
Mhm.
So I gotta go with the Lane Kiffin method sometimes. And now I see the NIL part of it too. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I guarantee you but that's why I done told you several times, Bill.
You have.
Pete Golden up out of here. I'm telling you, especially even if y'all make it to the play, y'all ain't got to win the SEC. Y'all make it to the playoffs, he gone.
Mhm.
He
So think
gone.
about this. Now, and what you're saying is true, and I believe it to be true. This is what I would say though. If Ole Miss were to, Lane Kiffin were to leave, if I'm Ole Miss,
Offer
it's
him
no
the
way.
bag.
It's
Offer
no
him the
way.
bag.
It's
Yeah.
no
Offer
way.
him the bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's no way I
Yeah.
couldn't. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
And
And
I was
it's
gonna,
no,
I,
and I would even say it's no way I couldn't look at Pete as being a Nick. It's no way I could say I can't look at him potentially being our next head coach. Because I mean,
bro,
you can think about,
there is no other candidate.
yeah,
If I'm
yeah,
the AD, the
Yes.
yeah,
chancellor, the president,
yeah. I got it off. Yeah,
the head of the collective, there is no other. Matter of
No.
fact, this how serious we going. We gonna already amend your contract the way you the head coach in waiting right now.
no, yeah.
So that if
If they
Kiffin
smart, you're
leaves,
right.
Yeah.
hey, I got the paperwork to already show. We already had this lined up just in
Yes.
case.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cause look, Cam, I mean, you 100% right. You've got a guy that's worked under Saban, that's worked under Kiffin, and so you are getting those aspects. Not only that, but you've worked. I mean, we know how Saban defenses are mastermind when it comes to stuff like that. The physicality, the intensity, everything like that. So you've got that. We see how he's been able to translate that to even Ole Miss football. Then you look at the offensive specialties that Kiffin brings into it. So this guy is he's gaining knowledge. He's gaining so much from those guys. He's just soaking all of that up. And you got the other stuff, the discipline, the NIL, everything else that you have to do outside of the X's and O's to make a program work and be
for sure.
successful. So I mean, it's a no brainer for sure. Like if I'm with you 100%. Like if they're smart, we're gonna go ahead and say, hey, if
Right
he
now,
decides he wants to leave right now, if he decides he wants to leave at any point while you are here, you are the guy in line. We want you to be the next head coach here. That's the best way
that's
for
it.
them to
Yeah,
smartest thing for them to do.
for real, man. Anything else you got to touch on this, Bill?
Nah, I'm waiting just like y'all is, man. We'll see. Uh,
It'll be interesting.
yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying it only
schedule
get
gonna
and
get
it don't
real now.
Yeah.
yeah, and then it only get worse if you keep winning. It's only going the talk's going the fire only gonna get that much more hot.
Yes.
I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
saying, and
That's
Florida,
good.
the type of
That
school
nah,
you
but that's gonna get like that because, like we just said, Ole Miss has never been prominent and like that.
in
And
football. Yeah,
but at the same time, people don't understand. It ain't too many people that say they can say they've been to Oxford, Mississippi, or Lafayette County,
that's
True.
very true.
and they don't understand how much money is involved in the Ole Miss. Like you got to throw the whole FedEx Corporation in there. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't understand. People don't
Oh
understand how much how that is. People don't understand how much of that old money,
Man, it's there.
that lineage
yeah.
It's there.
money is funneled through Oxford. You know what I'm saying? And Ole Miss. So but it is what it is, man. But we can't get off of throwing people on the seat without talking about these people right here.
Yeah. Got
LSU
it.
right now, 2-1. Uh, but it ain't a pretty 2-1. It don't look good. It
No.
don't look good at all, man. By the standard of Louisiana State University football, it does not look good at all. So I'm gonna let y'all go first, man. What is the issue?
Oh
What is
man.
the issue?
Even I'm glad you said it. That it's not a pretty 2-1. Even if it's a 3-0, it's not a pretty 3-0. They still had a chance to win that first game against USC. Um, but defensively on the back end, especially for me, I'm looking at it. That's still an issue. Um, there's a lot of times where coverage wise, it looks like our guys they're just not playing how they need to. Um, you've got times where guys are actually I've seen it where they're giving up, they're quitting on plays, they're just not hustling to the ball like they're supposed to. And then offensively, man, I feel like a lot of it comes down to they want to keep some of the offense that they had with JD5, but you don't have JD5 in the backfield. You have a guy that does not have that mobility, that does not have those wheels. So I was expecting more an offense that was more tailored to Nuss this year, but it seems like they're still trying to keep some of that. Well, you got a lot of zone read stuff, or at least that's what it's supposed to be. But you got a guy that you know that's not going to pull it and take off like that. So why would you even continue to have that in your offensive playbook? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Um, and so that's been a lot of stuff I've seen. And then in that first, I'm gonna go back to that first game. Second half, you target one of your probably your best offensive player, Kyron Lacy, only twice in the second half. He only gets targeted twice, and I don't know what the deal is right there. But that guy, as we alluded to it earlier, he's the truth. Like he is legit one of the best receivers in college football right now, hands down, in my opinion. You've got to get him the ball. You got to find ways to get him the ball and get him the ball more often so he can go out there and make plays.
I'm gonna agree with you, Matt. I think that was one of the things we talked about before the season got here with LSU was the offense. It changing. How was it gonna fit the scheme of Nussmeier? Because he's not a JD5,
Mhm.
and so I feel like that's the one of the things. But I'm with you on the back end, man. The secondary. I think I was like that the first game I played. In some cases, and let's be frank, USC they got some weapons, they got some nice receivers, but at times it's like, man, what are y'all doing? Like
Yeah.
even last week, I'm like, man, what are y'all doing? And so that's my biggest. I'm gonna say this: y'all are very much improved defense than y'all were last year. I would definitely agree to say that, but at times I'm still thinking about the secondary. I'm like, well, I'm gonna see much improvement. Because truth is, y'all don't have a Stingley.
Mm-mm.
Y'all don't have a Grant Dale pick. Y'all don't have. I'm just saying those Tyron, like those guys that y'all normally have. Y'all don't have one of those. But it's
Bro,
still like,
you
go
talking
ahead.
about you talking about elite five
Elite.
star
Now,
players though.
yeah, now that's true. But I'm saying you think about through the years,
Like
LSU at least
but
have one.
you got but okay, so I don't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm just that's just I'm thinking about it when I see in a secondary because it's not normal for me to look at. I'm just saying that's me. It's not normal for me to look at a LSU or Alabama defense and not see some elite secondary.
So
It's
what
not
had
normal for me.
okay, so what has our defensive unit looked like since 2019?
Mm,
Thrown together.
mm-hmm.
Best
And
way I can
Stingler
put it
got hurt.
together. Just
And the best DB we had that was the elite five stars you talking about is Eli Ricks. And what did he do?
He transferred. That is true. Very true.
So if your team looks like dumpster juice, what elite five star defender that you're discussing is gonna come?
Yeah, you're right.
But go ahead, I'll let you finish because I'm
No,
finished.
no, this I'm like I said, I'm in agreement with Matt. I feel like you still trying to hang on to some of the
Now
offensive stuff that you did try to do. And I feel
now
like some of it works because Nuts can throw.
yeah,
Uh
y'all want
but
y'all
but
want me to go defense or offense first? Which one y'all want me to
but
break
go
down
ahead.
first?
I'm gonna let you
Which
have the
one y'all
show.
want to hear first, man?
man,
You go
go ahead.
offense because you said y'all got a bunch of pretty boys. I already hear
Yeah.
Offensively, the veteran group of our team,
Oh,
two
yes.
top five, top 10 projected draft players on the offensive line.
Mm.
You have a quarterback who everybody hyped up and wanted to replace a Heisman Trophy winner with for a year and a half.
Stupid.
For 16 games, LSU fans were hollering, putting us in, putting us in. Nuss can do this. Nuss can do that. Nuss better at this. Nuss better at that. Then we get to the USC game. Only thing I'm gonna give y'all pushback on is they're not calling the same plays that they called for JD5. It's not the same read option. It's a read with RPO. But here's the issue. Nobody's scared to stop the run because your O-line cannot run block.
Facts.
And if I know Nuss can't run, only thing I'm gonna do is sit
Commit.
short on the RPO.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
USC whooped us up front with 5 people. 5.
Yep. 5
5 on 5, and they whooped us up front.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason being for that is the O-line, right?
Agreed.
Think about what they've done the past 2 seasons with JD5. Was it a true run game, or was it always people had to respect his feet?
They had to respect his feet, brother.
When you got to respect his feet, the defense is a step slower, which creates those gaps. Because let's be real, Joe Burrow wasn't the biggest threat to run the ball.
Mm-mm. Nope.
So well. But he could.
Nuss can run it if he wanted to, but if I know when I pull it, I got 2 people sitting out here waiting on me. Why I'm gonna pull it?
You right?
You wouldn't.
Because you got somebody sitting deep, the end staying at home, and then you had an outside linebacker sitting in the slant window. So where is he gonna pull it to?
He can't.
Which in turns mean up front you only have 3 to 4 people to block backside of the RPO, and we get 0 push.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Cole, breaking down film. I like it. You're right. You telling the truth.
You got these 2 great offensive tackles, but the interior has been the biggest complaint.
You got these 2 great pass blockers.
That's it.
And one of them got exposed against South Carolina. If we really want to be real about it,
yeah. I'll wait on you to get to
Will Campbell this, Will Campbell that, Will Campbell this, Will Campbell that, and we're getting his behind toe up.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like you add on top of that, guard, center, guard, they can't run block, man. They can't. They allow so much penetration. They can't get no push. Nothing.
It look like we don't even do inside drill at practice.
Tragic.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what it looked like. And everybody talk about, Caden Durham, he the one. He did that on his own.
Sure did.
Yep.
So then, let's flip sides. Let's go to the defense. Defense, much improved. Now, one thing I will say is we stupid young in the secondary.
Yes. That's what
everybody that started against USC was a first-year starter, except for Gilbert, who came from A&M. But it's his first year in the defense. He still got jailed with everybody else.
Yep.
But one thing I will say is them boys battling. You can say what you want to say. It ain't people running wide open, butt booty naked like it's track practice like it was last year on us. We might be getting beat, but we there.
Willie gonna be a dog.
Yes.
But we
there. Be a dog.
And a lot of it has to go back to what the age, the experience. There's confusion there on that part. I can handle that versus confusion on we have experience and we just out here doing our own thing. We don't know what's going on. But the age thing, I think you can handle that a little bit better because that's going to improve over time.
Now, what I will say this past game against South Carolina, that first half, they had me hot. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
they had me hot. They had me hot. Pretty boys for real. Everybody wanted to make TikTok dances and do all this other crap.
Right.
Second half, fourth quarter, they showed they had a little heart behind them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody expected them to come back and win. Shoot, I didn't. I'm be real. Nobody expected them to come back and win. Overall, I think it's potential. It's still like we just said, man. 3 games in, we got game 4 coming up. UCLA, we'll see how they turn out before we really kick off the SEC. Well, shoot, we got South Alabama next week. I don't know if y'all seen what South Alabama been doing. But
explosive.
Boy. But we'll see, man. I just feel like this team is not going to live up to the expectations or the hype until the O-line issues get fixed.
Yes.
Like you can't be a one-dimensional.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Line. Like not in college. especially when you know your quarterback is not a threat like that.
I was just about
That's
to say,
true.
when you know your quarterback ain't got no wheels like that, you can't just solely depend on him. You have to be balanced.
Like so, we'll see, man. I'm still rocking with my dogs, man. We'll at least we still got a few more weeks before Ole Miss come in that thing. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll
I
see what
mean, watching
happens.
y'all game last week, man, I ain't gonna lie. South Carolina gonna be more of a test than I thought they was before the season started.
That's
For
everybody.
us, yeah.
South
I
Carolina
mean,
fans, my bad. Goggles
no,
still
no,
can't. He can't throw though. Goggles
no,
can't throw
no, he
at
can't.
all.
Neither one can. Even buddy, he can't.
South Carolina, they attempted 4 passes in the second half.
I know, and bro
Right.
can't go work.
4.
I'm gonna say this though, the backup dude ain't no way you in college that long as a quarterback, and you still ain't learn how to throw.
Man, that man
We know
played at
you can
Hoover.
run, bro,
That
but
man played at Hoover where they had the best of the best, bro.
I'm
He
saying,
didn't
bro,
have to. He
like,
didn't have to throw. Everything was 1-on-1. You throw it up
Yep.
like,
or RPO. You just run it.
Yeah.
but that edge rusher though, man,
He ridiculous. That boy got a motor. You hear me?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
say
I agree.
this: he gonna get paid. He gonna get paid. He gonna get
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Almost
For
definitely.
sure, man. For sure. But man, good show, fellas. That's all I got for y'all tonight, man. Anything else y'all want to get off your chest?
That's it. Watch my
Man,
boy later. See what they
man,
do.
for sure, man. But man, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. I know we had a hiatus, a sabbatical, whatever you want to call it. Everybody has stuff going on, man. It's that time of the year, but we promise y'all, man, we're gonna make more of an effort to figure this thing out and get everybody's schedules lined up and make things work, man. But as
For
always,
sure.
as you see
Yep.
scrolling at the bottom, man, follow us on all the social medias. Follow us on
Yes.
all the social medias. Like, share, comment, subscribe, YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Talks
That's
with the
it.
crew is about to take off. Football season really get into it. We're going into week 4. It's
Yep.
really about to take off. These hot takes really gonna heat up because we're
Yeah.
gonna have some film to back up what we saying. So
Yes,
if you
sir.
ain't happy with the performance you putting on tape and what we talking about, I advise y'all to step up your game. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
As always, we'll continue to feature some high school kids. I want to try to get some Mississippi kids on here real soon.
For sure.
Still got some Texas kids out here doing their thing, man. But other than that, man, you know what it is. Talks with the crew. You heard what we said. And we out, baby.
Well,